In the aftermath of their successful mission against the bandits, Naruko, Sakura, and Sasuke found themselves thrust into a whirlwind of preparations for their next assignment. The village of Konoha buzzed with renewed vigor and determination, bolstered by their team's recent victory and the sense of security it had restored among the villagers. Under Kakashi's guidance, they delved deeper into their investigation of the bandit activity that had plagued Konoha's borders. Each day brought with it new challenges and revelations, as they followed leads and pursued rumors that led them to remote villages and hidden encampments nestled within the dense forests surrounding the Land of Fire. Their next mission took them to a small village on the northern border, where reports of suspicious activity had surfaced in recent weeks. As they approached the village under the cover of darkness, Naruko couldn't shake the feeling that they were walking into a trap. The air was thick with tension, their senses on high alert as they scanned their surroundings for any signs of danger. "Stay sharp, everyone," Kakashi murmured quietly, his voice barely audible over the rustling leaves. "We don't know what we're walking into." Naruko nodded solemnly, her hand resting on the hilt of her kunai pouch. Sakura and Sasuke flanked her sides, their eyes scanning the shadows for any movement or hidden threats. The village appeared deserted as they entered its outskirts, the eerie silence unsettling in contrast to the bustling activity they had expected to find. Kakashi motioned for them to spread out and conduct a thorough reconnaissance of the area, searching for any clues that might shed light on the village's mysterious circumstances. Naruko crept through the narrow streets, her footsteps light and cautious as she navigated the labyrinthine alleys and deserted marketplaces. The village seemed frozen in time, its homes and storefronts abandoned as though its inhabitants had fled in haste. A faint whisper of movement caught Naruko's attention, drawing her towards a dilapidated building at the edge of the village square. With practiced stealth, she approached the structure and peered through a crack in the weathered wooden door. Inside, she caught sight of a group of villagers huddled together, their expressions filled with fear and uncertainty. Their clothes were torn and dirty, their faces drawn with exhaustion and despair. Naruko's heart clenched at the sight, realizing that they had stumbled upon the true victims of the bandit raids, the innocent civilians whose lives had been upended by the shadowy forces that lurked beyond their village borders. "Sakura, Sasuke, over here," Naruko called softly, gesturing for her teammates to join her. Together, they cautiously entered the building, their presence eliciting startled gasps and wary glances from the villagers. "We're here to help," Sakura reassured them gently, her voice calm and reassuring. "Can you tell us what happened here?" A middle-aged woman stepped forward hesitantly, her eyes filled with a mixture of relief and apprehension. "The bandits came a few weeks ago," she began, her voice trembling with emotion. "They demanded food and supplies, threatening to harm us if we didn't comply. They've been terrorizing us ever since." Naruko's jaw tightened with determination as she listened to the woman's account. The bandit attacks weren't just random acts of violence. They were a calculated campaign of intimidation and extortion, designed to weaken the village's defenses and exploit its resources for their own gain. "We'll put a stop to this," Sasuke vowed quietly, his gaze hardening with resolve. "No one should have to live in fear like this." Kakashi nodded in agreement, his expression grave as he surveyed the villagers gathered before them. "We need to gather more information about the bandits' movements and their base of operations. Naruko, Sakura, I want you to escort the villagers to safety back in Konoha. Sasuke and I will continue our reconnaissance of the area." Naruko exchanged a determined glance with Sakura and nodded silently. They knew that protecting the villagers was their top priority, even as they yearned to uncover the truth behind the bandit attacks and bring those responsible to justice. Over the following days, Naruko and Sakura escorted the villagers back to Konoha under the watchful eye of an ANBU squad dispatched by the Hokage. The journey was fraught with tension and anxiety, as they remained vigilant for any signs of bandit activity that might threaten their convoy. Meanwhile, Sasuke and Kakashi continued their reconnaissance of the small village and its surrounding wilderness. Their efforts yielded valuable intelligence about the bandits' movements and the locations of several hidden encampments scattered throughout the region. One evening, as Naruko and Sakura returned to Konoha with the last of the villagers under their protection, they were summoned to a clandestine meeting in the Hokage's office. The atmosphere was somber, with Hiruzen Sarutobi and several high-ranking members of the village's council gathered around a large map spread out on the desk. Naruko, Sakura, thank you for ensuring the safe return of the villagers. Hiruzen began, his voice grave with concern. We've received troubling reports about the bandits' activities in the region. It seems they're part of a larger network that extends beyond our borders. Naruko exchanged a worried glance with Sakura, their hearts sinking at the implications of Hiruzen's words. The bandit attacks were not isolated incidents. They were part of a coordinated effort to destabilize the region and undermine Konoha's authority. We believe there may be a rogue ninja orchestrating these attacks. One of the council members added grimly, someone with the skills and resources to mobilize such a large-scale operation. Kakashi stepped forward, his expression hardened with determination. We need to strike swiftly and decisively. Sasuke and I have identified the locations of several bandit encampments. Our plan is to launch a coordinated assault to neutralize their leadership and dismantle their operations once and for all. Naruko nodded silently, her mind racing with the gravity of their mission. They had uncovered the shadowy figure behind the bandit attacks, a rogue ninja whose ambitions threatened the stability and security of the entire region. Assemble your team, Kakashi-sensei, Hiruzen instructed, his voice echoing with authority. You have my authorization to proceed with the mission. Konoha's future depends on your success. With their resolve hardened and their bonds of friendship tested like never before, Naruko, Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi prepared to confront the shadowy forces that lurked in the shadows. Their mission was clear: to uncover the truth behind the bandit attacks, bring the rogue ninja to justice, and safeguard the village they called home from any threat that dared to challenge its peace and prosperity.